Hey, beautiful soul. Welcome to your July monthly reading. And we have a lot going on this year, so I'm including a high-level Astrological Zen-ergy monthly overview of the planetary energies that Spirit wants to share. Also have some intermittent videos here and there throughout the months talking about the different astrological energies and how to maintain the most zen as we ride those astrological energy waves. And this tarot oracle card reading that we're going to do is for wherever this zodiac sign appears in your chart, whether that's your sun, your moon, your rising sign, your Mars, your Venus, wherever. So here's a quick reference of what planet generally rules over what area of your life, so you can see where this reading will most impact you. And you can actually, choose the zodiac sign for whatever of those areas and get a lot of detail. These monthlies are normally out a couple weeks before the beginning of the following month, so you can make the most of those astrological energies. Alrighty then, well, let's take a look at the Astrological Zen-ergy for the month of July. Let's start by looking at the energy that we're coming into the month with. We talk a lot about retrogrades, and the outer planet retrogrades impact us generally and our entire collective, where the personal planets, when they're, the closer ones, Mercury, Venus, and Mars, more impact us on a daily basis more extremely because they're closer to us. So we talked about launch time last month, which is a great time for launching new things because those inner planets are in a beautiful, they're all direct, and so they're not in retrograde, challenging us, launching things out into the world. So the incoming tide, though, is changing here this month as Mercury goes into its pre-shadow on July 17th. So that's kind of the date that we're like, all right, things are going to start to become a little more challenging to launch, and they'll be short term. And we'll talk more about that in, throughout the month too. So Pluto and Saturn are in their retrograde coming into the month, and Uranus is in their pre-shadow to their retrograde, which means we're already beginning to experience the energy of their retrogrades, but at a less intense level with the pre-shadow. I do have Zen-ergy videos already for all of these retrogrades and general information about retrogrades, just how they work and to make the most of them. If you want to check out my Astrological Zen-ergy playlist, I have that listed in the description box of the video down below, and it'll also be linked at the end of the video. I also have videos about Neptune, Chiron, and Mercury retrogrades included in that playlist, which have all of those three listed. And I plan on having an additional video about the Jupiter pre-shadow and retrograde by the end of June or early July. So keep an eye out for that as well if you'd like to prepare for that energy. All right, so on July 2nd, Neptune goes into its full retrograde. It had been in its pre-shadow since March 11th of this year, and it will be in retrograde in Pisces for a little period of time until December 7th when it starts going direct, and it'll be in its post-shadow till March 28th of 2025. Like I said, we covered the impacts of this energy in the video for the pre-shadow, so check that out for details on how to ground yourself for this powerful spiritual energy. As I mentioned, links to the playlist are down below and at the end of this video. On July 5th, we have a new moon in Cancer. So when the moon is in this cardinal water sign, it's when she's at her most nurturing. Mother Luna rules over the sign of Cancer. So the themes of home and family and children and mothers and mothering take center stage. We're more likely to express emotions outwardly as well. We might have a renewed spark to take care of others, whether that's cooking or cuddling or some other form, and most likely in our own love language, whether that's words, touch, time, service, or gifts. So we can, make sure that we're giving love in the way of other people's love language, not our own, but we're more, likely to give it in our own love language. So make sure to check out the Pick a Card when it comes out the week before the new moon, because I'll talk about how to make the most of the 10 new moon wishes. And then on July 15th, Jupiter enters its pre-shadow retrograde, and it's going to be in that pre-shadow until it goes full retrograde in Gemini on October 9th. And it's going to be in there until February 4th, when it goes direct, and it'll be in its post-shadow period until April 30th of 2025. So energy is going to be with us for a little bit. And this Jupiter energy normally nudges us to be outgoing, idealistic, and forward-thinking, but when it goes retrograde, we're kind of cosmically drawn to some intense introspection. And as I mentioned earlier, I plan on having a video out late June, early July on this energy, so keep an eye out for that video posting. And then on July 17th, Mercury goes into its pre-shadow for its retrograde. And, Mercury goes into retrograde 3 to 4 times a year. And we're in retrogrades like half of our life anyway. So it's just good to be aware of how to use the most of this Mercury retrograde energy, because there are some positive things, which we'll talk about. And that I mentioned in a previous retrograde video with Mercury, which is... Yep, it's in the playlist. So the link at the bottom and at the end of the video. So anyway, we start off in Leo, Mercury in Leo with the pre-shadow, and it actually dips into Virgo a little bit. But then when we go into retrograde on August 4th, during the retrograde, it goes back into Leo until it goes direct on August 28th, and it'll be in its post-shadow until 9/11 of 2024. Then it'll eventually get back into Virgo. The Leo fire energy, with this Mercury being over communication, it makes us want to communicate specifically, leaving no room for doubt in what we're wanting. And when it dips back into Virgo energy, we go into a grounded, earthy energy, but with a logical and rational emphasis on our thinking and communication. But we don't stay there too long. It's just July 26th to August 15th is when we're in the Virgo, and then, of course, we go out of that into Leo. Then on July 21st, we have a full moon in Capricorn. Wait, Bretta Zen, wasn't the last full moon in Capricorn already? Yep, it sure was. You are right. Sometimes the sign of the full moon can repeat 2 months in a row. Because this is the moon at her most organized and practical and businesslike, maybe we were wanting to get stuff done this month. Who knows? But we'll continue to double down on doing the work and focusing on our future goals, organizing, and tasking. We'll maybe have this desire to declutter and organize any area of our lives that feels kind of scattered, disrupted, or disorganized. Some great energy to get her done, you know what I'm saying? So make sure to check out the Pick a Card for this full moon that will come out about a week before, as this will also help making the most of the release energy of this full moon. And then on July 22nd, we enter Leo season, so happy birthday to all you Leo sun babies. So Leo season brings an opportunity to grow greater confidence, playfulness, and to roar about what's in our heart. So the sun rules over Leo and oversees our self-image, our confidence, our identity. So it's not a surprise that Leo season encourages us to foster and embrace your sense of self. We can find new ways to process emotions through enhanced self-expression, igniting us with proactivity and optimism to strongly seek our dreams. I create a Pick a Card around each sun season, and I include a bonus 3-month forecast for the sun babies for that season. So for all you Leos, check that out. And for anyone that was in Cancer sun sign, make sure to check out the previous Pick a Card as well. And then you can see what comes out. It usually comes out about a week before the Leo season actually starts on July 22nd. And then July 23rd, Chiron goes into retrograde. It's been in its pre-shadow since April 2nd. It is, in Aries as it goes through its retrograde, and it'll go direct on December 29th of this year, and it'll be in its post shadow until April 21st of next year. And yes, I have a video for the Chiron retrograde, as I mentioned, so be sure to check that out and see how to make the most of this wounded warrior energy. All right, so those are the energies, the basic energies that I felt led to share that we will all face as a collective. But as always, depending upon your individual birth chart, it'll impact us differently. We are all amazing soup that has flavors that are activated differently when they react to the astrological energy that trickles upon the earth. So, just be aware that it does impact us all a little differently. Alrighty, well, let's see what Spirit wants you to know through the Oracle and Tarot card reading. And here's all the decks that I'm going to be using this time. What I do is I take a tarot deck. In this case, I'm going to use the Arcanus Animal Tarot. And I split up the major arcana from the four suits of the minor arcana. I'm going to use the Archangel Oracle along with the major arcana to get the overall energy for the month. And then the minor arcana will use these four others to find out the different areas of our energy and our earth and energy, actually earth energy over here, our mind and the emotions. So we will go through all of these. And so if you're interested in any of them, you know what they look like. I'm not affiliated with any of them, but I know when I see readings myself, that's why I end up with so many decks, because I love all of them. All right, let's find out what Spirit wants you to know for your sign. All right, Scorpio, this is your reading for the month of July. We're going to start off with the major arcana. Let's find out what Spirit wants you to know overall for the month of July. What is the main message? And of course, we'll dive deeper. So for Scorpio, what is the theme that you want them to know about July? All right, this is it here. And we've got the Hermit coming in here. So it is a time of stepping back, really connecting to your higher self, to the spirit world, and get some guidance, get some clarity. I feel like it's going to be a month of a lot of light being shown on your life at different points, but it's not going to be like a spotlight that just brightens everything like a lighthouse or whatever. It's going to be more like a little lamp. It's going to be shown little pieces here and there throughout the month. And we'll, of course, find out more as we dive deeper into the energies of the month. Let's see here which archangel wants to accompany you on this journey of hermitude during this month here. All right, we've got this one coming in. And you've got Raguel, waves of healing coming in. Look at this brightness coming in. And it says, be open and vulnerable, as this will initiate healing and harmonious resolution. So that totally makes sense coming in here, and we'll get additional messages from them. But, when we're going to have heart surgery, when we're going to open ourselves up and be vulnerable, we don't want to do it like out in the middle of a food court at a mall or something where there's tons of people all around. We want to be in a very enclosed, safe environment when we do that. And I feel like this is the kind of the month that's going in here, is that. Raguel, I'm probably mispronouncing that, my apologies, means friend of God, and is the pearly white androgynous angel of harmony. They work very closely with all of those who call upon them to bring an end to conflicts and challenges. This powerful archangel helps us to remember the importance of relationships and brings to our awareness the limiting stories of our family history that we can heal and change. They work closely with Michael and Zadkiel, all are angels of justice who helps bring peace, calm, and righteousness to the earth. The message they bring you here is that whenever Raguel is close, it means that you are moving through great healing. A wave of harmony is washing over your life now, and you can find harmony and resolution to conflicts, both internal and external. If you've had disagreements with those around you, ask yourself what you can do to be more open and honest in how you yourself can show up with the energy or needs you feel are lacking. This will help you to be received and understood. A lot of mirroring, a lot of understanding. What does this mean about me, right? When we go into this hermiting and this kind of inward reflection, we can look at my disagreements and the stuff that I had with others. How is this, how do I recognize that within me? Like, those people are toxic. Okay, what ideas or thoughts within me are toxic? It's this kind of clarity that comes in. Angels are guiding you to stand down from fighting and arguing. Take a step back, hermit. Call them in and allow them to work their magic. Your heart is calling for a restoration of peace, so it's important to tune in and really ask how that looks and feels for you. If you're in a mental battle with what your instincts are telling you to do, know that your instincts aren't the holiest version of you, for they contain your genetic blueprint and therefore the limiting stories and beliefs of your family lineage. You are here to create a new, more advanced version of that story, one that is whole, healed, and complete. You are in process, but you are in progress. I love that. So definitely it makes sense, this energy, that it's a month of reflection, backing away from the fighting, backing away from the external conflict to find out what's going on the inside. Because we don't see the world as it is, we see the world as we are. We don't change from the outside in, we change from the inside out. So how we see the world has to do with our inner conflict. And like I said, it's a big mirror for us. But let's take a look and see what else we have. We'll look into the 4 minor arcana. We're going to start off with the fire element, which is the suit of wands, which tells us about our, what is fire? What is all this energy, right? Passion, ignition, our drive, our ambitions, our conflicts even is what keeps coming up here. But and it's our spiritual energy. So this would be what Creator and Spirit want you to know about your overall energetic adventure in the month of July. So let's take a look here. What about the fireworks, right? We have fireworks here in this United States. So you have the 8 of Wands. Oh yeah, here's all this messages coming from Spirit. The 8 of Wands, for me, depending on all the other cards that are coming out, of course, is about, when we're open, when we can raise our love vibration and get into this space of communication with Spirit, then we see confirmations from the outside world. We have ideas and messages just dropped into our brains, emotional messages that come in, energetic messages that come in, and of course, like we said, the physical world too. So you're going to be getting a lot of messages from Spirit, a lot of confirmation, a lot of nudging from the outside world because you've asked for it at this time. And the more that you connect and the more you ask of your own free will, you'll get even more of it as well during this month. So wow, going to be quite a month for you. We're also going to pull here from the Divine Guidance Oracle, and these are fractal imaging, which I call spiritual ink blot tests. So whatever you see in the card that comes out in the picture is a special message for you. And then we'll pull and look in the book here to see what the creator of these, Shirley Harnish, what she channeled. And she's got a great YouTube channel if you want to check her out too. Very, very sweet soul. So let's take a look here. Here we go. So here is your message. So you can take a look here. Let me just try to, sorry for the glare. They're very glossy. So let me just move in here so you can see it a little more. All right. All this green energy along with this hermit green color here. So card 15, let's see what comes in here with that. Yeah, this is the Dragon Guide. So Dragon is here to help you take a stand in your life. Others may have strong opinions about what you should be doing or how you should be doing it. Could also be that others are interfering when they should not be. And dragons come to help you stand firm for what you believe is right, even if that means breathing a little fire to get your point across. Don't worry, it'll be okay. Dragon is here to help you claim your power and your right to live your life as you see best. So, they are saying here, reduce your fighting, hold that fire back for now, turn inward and see where this fire is coming from, because when we can reverse that back to us too, right? And say, how am I trying to control others by telling them how they should be, how they should act, what they should or shouldn't do? Well, I don't want them to do that to me, so why am I doing that to them? Hold the fire back, because when we look at it and we realize I'm the one breathing fire, they're also breathing fire, so I'm breathing fire into the mirror, right? And so I can step back and go, how can I make better use of that information instead of blaming other people and pointing other people? This is the turning inward. Allow that fire to be turned inward and burn away thoughts and beliefs and mindsets that don't serve you anymore. Your shoulds, your supposed tos, your need tos, have tos, musts, because generally if we're upset with other people, it's because they're not living up to our expectations. And if they're upset with us, we're not living up to theirs, but we're also not living up to our own. And this big release that comes in here allows freedom to flow here for us. So you do have this forgiveness, this grace that you're giving everyone else, but you're giving yourself grace, because when you have yourself under rules, by golly, you become God's little sheriff and you go around making sure everyone else is too. The problem is that if you're the sheriff of one town, it doesn't mean the rules are the same in every town. And so when you go to another town to be the sheriff, that sheriff doesn't appreciate you walking all over it, the same that you don't appreciate when someone comes into your life and tries to be a sheriff, and you're like, your rules are not what are rule over here. So you release everyone from everyone's rules, including yourself. So I like that. Right. And then we're going to move into the earth element, which is the suit of pentacles. And this is the only one that's about the outside world. You've got energies inward. We're going to talk about mind and heart. Those are inward. This is the only one outward. So this is all those other people on stage. This represents your physical adventure during the month of July, including your own body as well. Yeah, King of Pentacles, ruler of the world, your outside world anyway. So this is abundance. Here's all this green again, this feelings of wholeness and completeness, and realizing I'm the ruler over my life and everyone else rules over their life. And, I just like this taking authority, not worried about what everyone else is doing or saying, but what am I doing for me? And really having this focus be on you and your kingdom and minding your own business. And that's funny. Your spirit, this is your spirit guide. It's not me. Minding your own business, that, other people's opinion of you is none of your business. What everyone else is doing is none of our business. Byron Katie, she's a wonderful soul. And she has books and a great website and a great YouTube channel too. And, she talks about how, that when we are out of our business and other people's business, that's when we feel out of control. And we get all this stuff because we're over there trying to do stuff, and like it said, like it's like little sheriff going to another town where you have no jurisdiction trying to be a sheriff. It's like, nope, go back to your own town. Manage your own town. Old German proverb, sweep in front of our own door, right? I like it. So let's see what else they want you to know here about your physical experience for July through this earth magic. I love the freedom that's coming from all this. I know in the beginning I wasn't too happy when I heard that message of I'm responsible for all of my emotions, my world, but that's where I want it. I want to be free, and I don't want to be responsible for anyone else's too. So it's really great. Yeah. Look at all this volcano volatility. So you definitely have had some activity in your lives, right? Because you've got, here's the fire, the dragon, the fire. This talked about that, all this fire energy. So you definitely, I like this turning inward. It's like, let's stop battling, stop the war, and let's go inward and find the source of, the eruptions that are happening inside. So I like that. There is freedom that comes from this, so it's definitely worth it. So Pele is the goddess who lives on the big island of Hawaii, dwelling there in the craters of the active volcano Kilauea. She's considered passionate, volatile, and capricious, and is perhaps the best known of the panoply of the Hawaiian deities. Since 1983, she has been sending ribbons of lava down the mountainside and into the sea, thereby creating new land. In this image, we see her subtle visage in the spewing fire of the volcano. In ancient Hawaiian chants, Pele is described as she who shapes the sacred land, and it's from this magnificent and powerful goddess being and her periodic eruptions that new earth is formed as the resulting lava merges with her sister, the goddess of the sea, Nama Kahokahi. I probably totally murdered that. The volatile and unpredictable nature of volcanic eruptions is widely known, and in spite of science's efforts at forecasting these blow-ups, they sometimes happen without warning. And whether the eruptions are slow and steady or violent and explosive, it's an unstoppable force. In one very dramatic way, nature changes and shapes the land. And I was just thinking here with this little lamp, it's like we can do the volcano, or we can use the light to guide our path. Destruction, instruction, right? So this is a particular volatile time for you. Unexpected changes, sometimes quite sudden and dramatic, are occurring in ways that you have absolutely no control over, right? These occurrences may be so powerful as to shake up what you formerly thought as the foundations of your security. They may even cause you to reassess the direction your life is taking, to question some of your relationships, or to reevaluate the work you have chosen. Although these events may rock your world, know that spirit is the guiding force behind them, right? A guiding force. It is a matter of finding your trust that life knows what it is doing in the midst of these storms of change. It also requires you to make adjustments quickly and to not cling to what was, but instead move forward and welcome your arms wide open what is yet to come. All from a place of being present in this moment. You truly have nothing to fear. So you might have been already having all this volatility. If not, if it's happening, just realize, take big deep breaths and step back. Know it's unfolding for you on purpose to show you the volatility that's going on, within you. And that's what, solves the explosions. It's like, all right, let me find out what's going on here. And it's totally so worth it. You have nothing to fear. It's something that releases you. And I like that. And then we're going to move into the air element, which is the suit of swords. It's our thoughts, our beliefs, our mindsets, our expectations, our communication, our knowledge, our wisdom, our higher education even, right? So let's take a look here and see what Spirit wants you to know about your mental adventure during the month of July. So what do you want our Scorpios to know about the mental adventure, please? Nope, none of those. All right. They said they'll make it obvious. All right, they did right here. And you got the Two of Swords, yeah. So we've got this, the battling that happens between two. It's closing our eyes and opening our hearts. So getting out of our heads where the supposed tos and the shoulds and the need tos and the have tos and musts that come in. And this is part of that, whenever we get the two cards, it's I get to choose the story that I apply to something. Even though we're given a lot of supposed tos and shoulds and need tos and have tos and musts, a lot of opinion that was given, growing up, the story that we apply to something. When that happens, this is what it means. When that blows up, this is what it means. When the fire, comes out of the dragon, it means this. When this person does this, it means that. We get to choose. And so even though it doesn't feel like a choice much because we took on that opinion as our own, we reinforced it where it became our habit, and then so much of our habit, it became our reaction. We just react instead of thinking each moment, okay, what story do I want to apply to this? What story do I want to apply to that? We just apply. So when we stop and breathe and take a step back and go, is that the story I want to put to that, and why? And if not, what story do I want to change it to? I like that. Then let's also look here at the numerology guidance cards and see what else they want you to know about your mental adventure. All right, here it is. For the month of July, you've got spirituality. Master number 77. So you definitely have this spiritual tint that's being applied to all of this, allowing you to see things from a higher perspective. And this card indicates a need to enhance your connection to the divine to improve your relationship with yourself as well as your quality of life. You're not a human being having a spiritual experience. You're a spiritual being having a human experience. And your relationship with Source is your path to inner peace. When you find your way to God, you find your way home. Yeah, that's what all this is about, right? And by selecting this card, you're being encouraged to celebrate and strengthen your relationship with the divine in whichever way you choose. You may opt for prayer, meditation, chanting, yoga, or periods of silence and contemplation. Perhaps quiet time in nature, going on a retreat, or attending a place of worship is something you prefer. It doesn't matter which option you choose, for there is no right or wrong. Only you can know your ultimate path to God, right? Here's this pulling back. In order to improve your current situation, you're being asked to adjust to and harmonize with the natural rhythm and cycles of your life. Cycles that are encouraging you to strengthen your relationship with the divine. You are also being urged to communicate with your lost loved ones, spirit guides, and angels, and ask for assistance when required. No request goes unanswered, and no request is too big or too small. The affirmation is my relationship with the divine is my path to inner peace. How perfect. That's what this has all been talking about, right? And then the last card, we actually go into your element, the element of water, which is the Suit of Cups. And this is all about emotions. And so this will be what Spirit wants you to know about your emotional adventure during July. But, this is where you live and breathe. So nothing to fear here. You're all used to this stuff. So let's take a look here. What does Spirit want you to know about your emotional adventure during the month? Here we go. Yep, 10 of Cups. You have this natural state of joy and overflowingness that can happen here. So there's a great deal of emotion that's happening, but each of those cups that were full of flame and fire can transform into unconditional love and peace and the higher vibrational emotion. So the 10 of Cups normally doesn't mean this, but with all the volatility and all this is this ending of lower vibrational emotions and transforming into higher vibrational emotions rooted in unconditional love. So I love the peace and the joy that's just going to fill you up and overflow. All this, like I said, the lower vibrational energy that just feels so uncomfortable, you're transforming it during the month of July to something so much bigger. All right. And then for your final card, we're going to pull from the Celebration of Love. And since this is your last card, it can be more about the emotions area, but it's a wild card. Whatever else Spirit wants you to know about the month of July. So let's take a look here. All right. I do want this one here. And you've got Coming to Earth, Truth. Look at all this. Beautiful. I love dolphins. So the truth comes out, the capital T truth. of things. So you get to see clarity that comes here. So let's take a look here and see what else this says here for you. So this image celebrates our spiritual and universal heritage and our ability to know this. It calls us to walk in the truth that we are multi-dimensional beings that come from spirit and will go back to spirit. But also, even though we are currently physical, we are still in spirit now. Every few hours during the day, stop and reflect on all living things that are around you. Give respect and knowing that all is of the divine. It contains the Creator's energy that holds every atom in the whole universe in pure working perfection. The special message that comes in, you are being inspired to know that God is all and all is God. We are in the eternal moment of now. Now is what we have. Now is divine. So again, this connecting to the divine and kind of that echoing that you are a spiritual being having a physical experience, not a physical being having a spiritual experience. So all about this spirituality, and this is a huge month of turning inward and upward and seeing the truth of things, seeing the truth of the source of your triggers, the source of your fears. But I love that it transforms and brings you to this beautiful, higher vibrational joy, joy, joy. So I love that for you, and that is what they have for you for the month of July. Fireworks, fireworks, fireworks. You get to enjoy them instead of being blown up by them. All right, much love to you, all of you Scorpios. That's what they have for you for July. And if you're looking for more messages of love from above, there's a few things that you can do. First of all, you can give this video a little thumbs up by clicking the like button. That does tell me that you enjoy the content, but it also tells YouTube that you are, and it'll bring more of that similar content. Other thing you do is click that subscribe button. That does give you access to the notification bell. And if you go in there and hit the all setting, then you'll be notified when any new videos come out on my channel, as well as when I go live on YouTube to provide free readings. In addition to all of that, you become part of the love tsunami when you either like, share, comment on anime videos, subscribe to my channel, even becoming one of my YouTube channel members. Doing any of those things makes the YouTube algorithm so giddy, crazy, happy, excited, wants to automatically share my videos with other people as well. So if you feel inspired to do any of those things, please know I'm ever, ever so grateful. Also, these are general readings, and if you're looking for even more specific information for your specific life, I do offer personal readings and other services. All that information is listed in the description box of the video down below. All right, beautiful soul, as you're going through this journey, remember every second of every day of your life that you are unconditionally loved by the Mother and the Father of all things, our Creator. And of course, I love you too. So until I see you again, much love to you. Hang in there and take care of yourself. We'll see you soon.